Okay. And we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Why Am I Yelling Live? I'm Krista. I'm your host. I am a transformational life coach focusing on relationships and parenting. And this is my weekly live video show called Why Am I Yelling Live, where I like to highlight people who inspire me along my path and my journey, and hopefully will help inspire you as well. My guest today is Vanessa Codorniu. I always want to make sure I get that right. Vanessa is an acclaimed intuitive, clinical hypnotherapist, and international intuitive trainer. Those are a lot of words. She supports women to feel safe, connected, and held so they can release fears, stress, anxiety, and receive the inspiration, healing, and information they need to create a joyous and balanced life. Vanessa and I we've only known each other for a week, literally a week. And she and I are going to be collaborating at the retreat that I'm hosting in June. So I thought, you know what? Let's bring her on and let's get to know her. And we will probably get to know her a little bit better through the next coming weeks, which I'm so excited about because I had such a great feeling talking to you. So welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so glad that we connected. It's been a pleasure, even though it's been a week.
I know. So good though. So here it is. This is a very organic conversation. We're just going to chat. So tell me, Vanessa, how did you become a clinical hypnotherapist and intuitive, and what drew you to this, and why? Like, how long have you been doing this? Tell me your story.
Okay, I've been doing it a long time. It feels like lifetimes. I believe that we're all intuitive. If we look at it from a spiritual perspective, everybody believes at the core we're all one, so we can connect, intuitively with people. If you look at it from a science point of view, we're all energy, so you can say that energy communicates with itself. We're communicating. So I believe that all of us are wired to send and receive the invisible, right? But as a child, though, I saw things around me like all of us. I saw my parents dealing with their struggles. I saw other people. And my thing was always, from a young age, like, how can we be better? How can we be happier? There was a sense inside of me, like, this is not the way the world is supposed to be.
Right.
The world's got to be better. Like, what can we do? And why, and as a child, I went through times where I was sad, where I was deeply saddened by either world events or just situations. And so from a young age, I was just like, well, how can I do better? How can I understand myself more? As I got older and had proof that I was intuitive and and also went to intuitives and psychics and saw them doing their work, I was like, well, that's great. An intuitive reads you and tells you about yourself, and you get all happy and you're like, wow, I feel validated. But then you go home and you still got the stuff.
You don't know how to do it. Right.
Your stories are there, the beliefs, the way you were raised, the trauma, the pain. So for me, it was natural to seek out some sort of, well, okay, you're an intuitive. What's the next level to heal myself in the world? So then I'm in my 20s, so it's been like 20 years. I enrolled in a clinical hypnotherapy program with Dr. Seidman at the Hypnosis Institute. And the way that it works is you continue to go back and you keep getting trained, right? Like, so you do the work, you keep getting trained. And I've had incredible shifts in my life because of it. And I've seen incredible shifts. So it's really from a desire to serve. It was from a desire of saying, well, the other stuff isn't working completely. How can I go deeper?
Right.
Really. And
so through the hypnotherapy, so what is the result of the hypnotherapy? So because I'm fascinated by this. Oh, by the way, like, I could sit and I watched your live yesterday and I was like, I could listen to her talk all day long. Like, just the stuff that was coming out of, like, I just liked the way that you delivered the messages to the people that were asking your questions. I really got like a really good, like, feeling from that whole, like, your whole conversation yesterday, the whole 15 minutes that I was on. But so now I want to know, who are your clients? Like, who comes to you? Right. Are they, moms? Are they women who are looking to make a major life change? They want to have answers to things that they don't, I sometimes say that I'm a little bit intuitive. I sense things and things like that, like you just said, but I definitely don't have I can touch your hand and tell you, whatever, like, about you. Like, I don't have that. So I'm always interested in knowing, when someone asks you a question, how you can answer them and get it. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for watching and thanks for saying what you just said. It's been 2 decades, right, of me developing this work. And that's why now I support and train other empaths and intuitives, because when we first realize we're intuitive, we just blurt stuff out. Sometimes we're inappropriate. We cross boundaries, right? So it doesn't work. People are like, stop. So I've learned over time how to speak to people so they can hear it, so they can receive it.
Right.
So the people who come to me, first, before I go to the people who come to me, I want to share a little bit about, I think for all of us, right? It's the wounded healer in all of us that kind of brings us onto the path of coaching and healing and supporting others. We understand others. So the people who come to me, a lot of times are in alignment. Well, they're always in alignment, right? They're people that can relate to me, that I can relate to. So they are moms.
Yep.
Working or stay-at-home moms, which is working. They're 22-year-olds, they're 72-year-olds. And a lot of women, they bring their children and they wind up bringing their husbands at times or their boyfriend, right? Because and that's why I think this retreat's going to be super duper powerful, because we're going to have a combination of your powerful coaching, right, and laser spot on abilities, and then we're going to also go in deeper. Yep. Right? For the stuff that's under the surface. So the people who come to me are usually people who've already tried a lot of things. They're go-getters. They're seekers. They want to help themselves. And they're saying, well, I've done this and I've done that. But yet that pattern, and I know it intellectually. People say to me, I know that pattern, but I can't stop it.
Right.
What is it? So what we do with hypnotherapy and hypnosis, it's a relaxation. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. People have to allow me in. And when they go in and let's say they have a fear of public speaking, right? And they're like, but I don't know why. No one shamed me. No one did anything. And when I go into hypnosis and they go in, they'll remember being suddenly 6 years old, a memory that they blocked, where they felt humiliated in front of people.
That's amazing.
So what happens is that the subconscious pattern is created to save them, actually. So a lot of our patterns are actually here to try to help us.
Sure.
Even the ones that keep us stuck, even the ones that don't let us move forward. It's like danger, danger, let's not move forward.
Yeah.
So people, public speaking or anxiety, maybe they don't feel safe in the world. And who can blame them, right? We're living in chaos. It's not even going to get into that, right? So it's really up to us to try to create some contained bubble of peace and stability, and especially if you're a mom, and especially, you have a family. Yep. And so I think it's so important for women, and especially women who have families, to find ways to keep themselves centered. As you know, we fill our own cup so then we can offer anyone else anything.
Yes.
So those are really the people. They're seekers, they're women, they're moms. And then when they feel really empowered, they start bringing in their husbands. And I'll tell you, a lot of husbands and boyfriends say to me, I don't know if I believe in this. Right. But I love my wife and my family, so I'm willing to do it. Yeah. And, men come for anger. Some women do as well. And also as women, we're not, and with families, it's like, we can't say I can't.
Right.
Who's going to do it?
No one's going to do it.
Right. So they've got to make the lunch, or they've got to do what they have to do. They have to go to work, whatever it is that they have to do. And so these are the people who come through. Some of the results that they get. I had a woman with 3 children who was so stressed out, could not pass an exam that was going to actually support her in getting a higher paying job, a licensing exam. Right. She kept not being able to pass. She was so frustrated, and she came to me. But we talked about everything. What are you eating? Because I'm also a health coach as well, right? Yeah. What are you eating that week before you do the exam? What are you eating before? Because it's a 5-hour exam. Right. Everything. And then we went into the core of the fear of failing. Times where she had failed, forgiving it, releasing it. And she was able to pass the second time. She had to do it one more time where she had missed it by 3 points. But she had missed it by 150 before. So we grew up to 3 points. And then we did another. So we did 2 sessions only, and she passed it. She was so excited. And her kid said, Mom, you look so good and happy. One of them's like, I'm failing history class. Can I? And the other one's 22 going, Mom, you look so good and you passed. I can't get a job. I'm so scared to speak in an interview. So I worked with both of them, and the daughters both were able to pass their history and get a job. So
that's amazing.
Examples, yeah.
It, I believe in all this stuff. I think it's all very connected. I do feel like your health is connected to your mental health, and I it's a whole big thing. And I say to my kids all the time, I'm like, the only thing that you have control over is the person and the body that you have. So fuel it the right way and speak to it the right way and teach it the right way and do all the right things. Right. And so, as a mom, and I know that you're a stepmom, and there's a lot that we want to impart on our kids and on the people that we care about, not just our children, right? On our families, on our friends, on all that stuff. And so, do you ever like see things or feel things around, like when you're around people and you're like, okay, I have to tell you this?
Absolutely. But as I was saying, I try to be really, really respectful. I'm in my 40s now. Maybe at 20 I was a bit of a fanatic. I think that maybe I alienated some of my friends because I was like, no, you must, especially when I was younger, I felt like somebody had bulimia. I didn't know that they did, but I got this strong feeling that they were going to come close to dying if like they didn't stop doing whatever they were doing, but I didn't know what it was.
Right.
And so I kind of threw myself at their mercy and cried to them. And I was like, I have a feeling, I was like 22, that's something. And then she started crying. She's like, I don't think anybody's ever dared or been brave enough to love me this much. It was a friend.
That's amazing.
Started crying and telling me that she was very bulimic, that she's been very sick, that she wasn't telling anybody, and that there was part of her that almost wanted to leave. So those were the examples at 22. Now what it is, so I believe that we do whatever we do, our soul purpose, we do it wherever we are, right? We're just serving wherever we are, I think.
Right.
Before I did this full time, I did it part time, but I'd have straight jobs. I'd be in corporate, media.
Right.
So I'd be there and suddenly I'd feel this presence of a really tall angel or their grandmother behind them saying something. But I really couldn't, risk that. I couldn't risk going, there's an angel. Because, at work, you want to keep your job.
Right. We're in the middle of a corporate meeting. Excuse me.
You want to keep a reputation. But in the conversation, I'd suddenly look at the person and be like, you really love sunflowers, don't you? But there were no sunflowers in the cubicle or anything. You should get some sunflowers. And the person looked at me and she just got like really, because she had just gotten a promotion or something, and she got really like this. And she said, my mom passed away, and when I was little, she would buy me sunflowers every time I got an award or every time I got something. And that's what I was getting, like somebody who crossed over. And I said, oh, beautiful coincidence. I wouldn't go into it. Another time someone was very upset at their job. They weren't happy, but they weren't talking about it at all. They were always smiling. And one day I was like, have you ever thought about going back to school and doing something radically different, like nursing? Because that's what I was getting. And they said, oh my God, I think about it every day, Vanessa. And I'm like, I think you should do it.
Right.
A bit, So that's what was happening. And a lot of jobs when I left, like now people find me online. They're like, oh, we knew that about.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like they're like, but I tried to be really careful. Because I actually was fired once from a film set. I wasn't fired. I was let go. They had to pick somebody to let go because of the budget. And I was doing natal charts during lunch for free. I wasn't charging.
Right.
And the person who was supervising me or in charge of our department said, I thought you were intelligent. I actually thought you were really, really bright. And now I saw you believe in that stuff. She was like that. 20-something years ago on a film set where you think film or a little more out there, a little.
Right.
Yeah. So I got let go. They had to let go of somebody. They let go of the woo-woo one who believed in the stars. So absolutely, you learn how to relate, how to communicate. And that's one of the things I love about my work now. I'm not off the wall, as you saw. I believe that the advice that has to be given has to be practical.
Yes.
It has to serve the soul, it has to serve the mind, the spirit, and now I can say what I want.
Yeah, well, you can. And I think that that's important. And and it's all in the delivery, right? So when I was watching, people were asking some pretty deep questions for a Facebook chat. And I'm like, okay, so all right, you really want to know this information like out there live on a Facebook chat? Okay, great. Then I'm watching this because this is going to it can go one of two ways. And just the way that you delivered it and the message that came across. And even if there was, maybe somebody could have gone the pessimistic route, I felt like there was always a positive message to it. And so that's what I really enjoyed.
Thank you. Well, because that's really true in the spirit plane, right? The soul plane.
Yeah.
there is really, as ugly as something seems, as terrible as something seems, there's some sort of opportunity there.
Yep.
Like many of us can say, what's going on in the world right now, how terrible the world is ending.
Right.
An invitation for us to actually step up for what we believe in, to be more vocal. I mean, I've never called my
senator.
I've never called a senator before. I mean, I voted, but now I was like on the phone one day, between sessions. Hi, don't vote for this. So it's inviting us to take part in our world and what's happening. Yes, always an opportunity. Absolutely.
And by the way, I was so funny when I friended you the other day. I was like, "How do you know my friend Okima?" So I called her and I was like, "How do you know Vanessa?" And she was like, "I don't really know her, but I know her through friends, so that's why we're friends." And I was like, "Oh my God, it's such a small world."
Yes.
Yes, I believe in that too, and I do think it's funny because I say it all the time that I'm an eternal optimist and I will find the silver lining in a cloud any single day that I possibly can. And I was talking about it yesterday in my Facebook Live because April in Why Am I Yelling is Abundance Month. And I'm talking about how to get it, how to keep it, how to create it, how to cultivate it, all that stuff. With, in your daily life and your parenting and your relationships, spiritually, all that stuff. And I used a conversation that I had. My father just passed away a month ago, and I used it in my conversation with my mom yesterday because she's doing phenomenally well, and I think she's shocking all of us a little bit. But at the same time, she has her moments, and I keep trying to be the one to turn it a little bit. You are absolutely allowed to have these moments, and all of your feelings are valid because you were with him for 55 years and you should have these feelings. But at the same time, you can't stop living your life. So we have to figure out how to make you wake up in the morning and not feel like, oh, it's another day without him. How can we make it another day to make him proud of what we're doing or honor him or move on and, focus on being better and focusing on your health and traveling with your friends and doing all the things that he, unfortunately, is not going to be able to do. And so, I think that's important. I think, the positivity angle, I think that, you can physically, literally watch, and somebody's mind change. Yes. And that's a gift to be able to do it and to be able to watch it, I think.
Absolutely. And I think that's why, I kept saying, I think in the video the other day, the invitation. I think when we tell people what to do, they're going to reject us or close off. Well, we do it from an open, heart-centered way, like in the way that you're doing it.
Yeah.
People are going to move towards it because I believe that people actually do want solutions. I believe that people do want support. They may be in denial of it. They may be a little closed down around it. So I think that it's true. And I'm an eternal optimist too. So here we are. That's why we matched and we met a week ago and here we are. And, and I get the sense too that you've always been like this, always been like this. You've always been a solution creator. That's why coaching is perfect for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with that answer, with that analysis.
Yeah. And
now I have a hypnotherapist. I'm so excited to have you in my life.
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you. It was, it'll be okay. We all will survive. Okay. So now what else do I need to know from you? So everybody, Vanessa is going to be my guest coach at our, Getting Away from It All Sisterhood Retreat. And that's happening June 1st through 4th. And I'm hosting it at my lake house in Connecticut. And I cannot tell you how excited I am about this. I'm like jumping out of my skin about this. It's going to be amazing. And we have created, and Vanessa and I are going to work in the next couple of weeks to create a program specifically designed for the lucky 8 ladies who get to attend. So if you want in, Jackie's going to put the link up in this broadcast, and it's all over Facebook. It's on my page. It's on Vanessa's page. It's on my friend Maria's page, who is our private chef, and she's coming in for the weekend to do all kinds of beautiful cooking for us. And we're going to do health stuff. And Vanessa is going to lead a hypnotherapy meditation circle on the beach at the lake. It's going to be so freaking good. I can't. I shake with excitement about this. So tell me a little bit about what like a meditation hypnotherapy circle entails and what we would do in a group setting, like what we're going to do at the lake. Like, I want to know.
Absolutely. So I think one of the key things is, you call it sisterhood. And I think that
You
it's
gave me that word, by the way.
What?
When you told me that word last week when we spoke, and I was like, oh, we're using that.
Yes, yes. And it's so key because in gathering as women, we're also healing,
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of years of patriarchy where women are not supposed to like each other. We're supposed to be critical, pick on each other. So what we're going to create is a supportive atmosphere, right, where we can be seen and heard and witnessed as we are, and then invited into expanding into our best selves and to releasing what doesn't serve us anymore. And I have to say, a lot of people are scared with hypnosis or hypnotherapy. It's much easier than you think. Like some people are like, I don't want to go back to the trauma, but we're not doing that in that circle. What I'm going to do is ask every woman, what are they wanting to bring into their life? What are they wanting to release?
Right.
And as I'm going to listen, and then as I guide the meditation, I'm going to include what each woman, so everyone's going to receive. It's not going to be just a generic one. It's going to be very specific, wanting to communicate better with your children, wanting to release maybe the shadow of your mother or your father who maybe didn't give you what you wanted or needed at the time. However, and so we're going to do some of that. We're going to be doing other juicy things, but mainly really, I think, going to the heart of it with support so it's less scary. Right? A lot of people we avoid that deep stuff because we're like, I don't want to get mucked down. A lot of people are afraid of getting bogged down. They're like, I'm just going to move forward. But the thing is, when you just push forward, at some point in time, it bites you in the booty. Like you either get really sick, you start getting migraines, like something happens.
Anxiety. Yeah, all of it.
Stress. Yeah. And then you've got to really look at it like, well, what's going on? And so we're going to be diving deep there. But also, there's a lot of laughter. When I've done this before, like we dive deep, there could be tears, but then we're also laughing, then it'll be like everybody's relating. It's like, sister, I'm with you. I've got that too. And so we feel less alone. Right. Less alone, that we're not weird or strange or weak or not enough because we feel a certain way.
Right.
So tapping into the fact that we already have everything that we need and then getting the support around it to be able to live that way, to have that flow.
Oh, I cannot wait. I really can't wait. I'm so excited about this. I'm just like, oh my God, who would not want to be here? Who would not want to be? You guys, it is going to be so fun and it's so well thought out. I feel like Jackie and I have been working so hard to like plan it out and think it out. And now Vanessa's on board and my friend Maria is on board. And we have taken the time to really, it's my first one. So I want it to be like major and I want it to be good and I want everybody to come back. And I'm so excited about it. I get like all giddy. And I really cannot wait. I can't wait to like get into it and turn it into what it's going to be, because it's really going to be good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think too, was something you were saying to me when we met is that, people are getting ready to go. People are getting ready to have vacation time and the kids are going to be home, supporting people also with practical skills, right?
Yep.
That you're going to be doing, or scheduling, or whatever it is, and that planning that sometimes women feel really overwhelmed with, like, well, oh my God, I mean, I know a lot of bloggers and a lot of people who are now going to have their 5 kids home or their 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
And it's like, woo, got a plan.
Yep. Yeah.
And I keep everything moving.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's funny, like you're right. When we were talking last week, I was saying, summer for me is not my relaxing, slow time. It's like my busy season because I've got the kids at home. You're going from one place to the next place, to the camp, to the this, to the tennis, to this schlepping, to the lake, to the wherever they're going. And I'm trying to do, and we all, as mothers, as business owners, as women, as people who, like with jobs, even as stay-at-home moms, it's like, the kids are typically in school. Like my kids are 11 and 5, so they're in school. And I have 8 solid hours of the day to do what I need to do. But in the summer, I don't. I lose a few hours in the morning. I lose some hours in the afternoon. I have to cram more of it in during the day. And I just feel like bringing something in where we can focus on what do you want to get accomplished this summer? What do you want to focus on, not just this summer, but for the next 6 to 12 months? And how can we make a plan for you? And then wrap it all around in mindset and intuitive coaching and the hypnotherapy. And I think it's going to be great.
Absolutely. It's I think it's a complete package, really. It's totally all about wholeness, getting the energy of the do it now and figure it out, get it together, and the energy of diving deep, receiving sisterhood, receiving support, being seen and heard. I think it's a beautiful combination. So I'm very excited myself.
I can't wait.
It's like, oh my God, 2 more months.
I know. I know, 2 more months. So you guys better get on it and get it. Buy this because it's gonna explode in about 5 minutes. We just released it limited the last couple of days, so we're gonna start doing ads and all kinds of stuff on it in the next coming day or two. So I'm looking forward to watching it sell out and to see who gets in on it, because we're going to do some preliminary work with you guys, and we're going to have some questionnaires, and we're going to get all kinds of great information from you. So we're prepared for your arrival and what to expect. And we have a little bit of information in our back pocket, so we can tailor it even more to like a personalized weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, Vanessa, what else do we need to know about you before we wrap up? We have 3 minutes.
Well, I was going to say that most people who do any work with me leave feeling clearer, feeling lighter, feeling held. And, this is what I'm here for. So it's like my deepest honor to serve in this way and to hold people through these transitions or through these shifts. And I'm just so excited that I get to do it in a beautiful place with a beautiful human being who loves to serve and connect as well. And I haven't met the chef yet, but it sounds awesome. Amazing. I can't wait. And, we're going to be hiking. There's like the beach. There's like other things. So what an incredible space to actually do all that work, because usually we do it in an office or like on the phone. So now we get to do it outside in nature. Yes. We could take a walk after. We can do it on our own. So
we can paddleboard. You can do whatever you want. We have all the stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be good. Yeah. Okay, so everybody, Jackie just put all of our links on there. She put your social media links on in this chat. She put the weekend away from it all in the chat. So if anybody has any questions, reach out to us separately, together, private message us on Facebook. We are available for you to answer any kind of questions or comments or anything that you have. I would like to thank my guest, Vanessa Codorniu, for your time and for your insight, because I think it's amazing, and we will definitely have you back on here soon. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody out there, but you're going to hang on with me for just a second. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you back here. Oh, not next week. I'm in Florida next week. It's spring break. We're going to visit Mom. And then I'll be back the following with my friend Jenny Sanzo. She's got a really great story. And I cannot wait to share that with you. So we'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Bye everybody. Have a great day.